our special segment on Friday, which is the Know Your Company segment, the KYC segment. And today on this segment, we are going to be discussing about a battery maker, Exide Industries. We do know that the stock has been in clear momentum in just the last 1 month odd. We've seen the stock price rally about 50%. Not just that, record high levels can be seen on this stock as well. It's been hovering around those levels. Last 1 year move will show you that the stock has surged about 140%, and it's been a one-way move. But especially after the recent run up, we need to figure out that whether this company does hold steam or a potential for a good long-term view as well. So, Mr. Jani, on Exide Industries, first let me just give a overview to all our viewers about the company. This company is based in Kolkata. It was founded in 1916. It was then named Chloride Industries and renamed Exide in the year 1995. It sells the lead acid storage batteries. It's divided in automotive industrial segments, offers batteries for both automotive, industrial, genset, solar, as well as inverters, UPS and submarine usage as well. And even for e-rickshaw vehicles, lithium-ion batteries it is in. It also engages in lead recycling and energy storage solutions as well. So those are the core operating areas of the company. But some more interesting facts I will share with you about Exide in a little while. But let me first take an overview from Mr. Jani on Exide. Mr. Jani, we've seen a stupendous rally unfold with the EV play. I will come to the earnings as well. But overall, how do you see this battery segment and within that Exide?
So, the battery segment has done exceptionally well in the last, let's say, about 2 or 3 months' time. More so because there were a couple of announcements that Exide made about, their tie-ups with some of the global automotive companies based out of Europe and other countries. Also, when you look at the recent quarterly numbers, the margin improvement has been very strong, and now people feel that on the EV side, the kind of product offering that they have come up with would give them a very good volume growth over the next 3 years. So both on the margin side and volume side, the picture is looking good. The only point is that the stock has run up in the last 2 or 3 months. So I would be more comfortable if you buy into it at a correction of about 7 to 10%.
Okay, let's come to the earnings part, sir, and understand how the company has really performed in Q4 and what could be the outlook as far as the fundamentals and the earnings of the company go. So, for Q4, the company has reported a revenue growth of 13.5%. It came in at 4,173 crores. EBITDA has improved by 20.5% at 448 crores. For the margins, they've also seen an expansion, 62 basis points at about 10.7 odd percent. The net profit, however, was just marginally up this quarter on a year-on-year basis by 2.5% at 185.7 crores. How would you really look at the earnings? Do they really show the kind of potential that the EV play has for the company?
Numbers have been pretty strong. The revenue growth was in line with market expectations. But what market really liked more is the margin. On the margins, they've given almost about 200 basis kind of a surprise. Also, the fact that the automotive segment itself, both the, let's say, EV part is still a very small component of the overall business, but the traditional, IB business is shaping up pretty well. We are seeing very strong growth come through from the passenger cars, two-wheelers, and Exide being a dominant player there would stand to benefit. So I think on the core business and a possible trigger in terms of higher volume growth coming from EV side because of their positioning on the lithium-ion batteries and all, and their global tie-ups would make it a very exciting story.
Would make it an exciting story. But I also wanted to put in a point and understand how the competition stacks up. Of course, this is the largest battery maker, but there is growing competition in this space. There are newer entrants coming in. There are expansions of capacities happening with the existing ones. Everyone looking at this potential opportunity over the next 5 to 10 years that the EV space could really bring about. How does Exide stack up in terms of competition? Will it be able to outperform the competitors?
Surely, if you look at the pure batteries, you have Amara Raja, which also has done well, but in terms of size, in terms of margin, and the brand recall, I think Exide has slightly better edge compared to an Amara Raja. And when we look at the overall market, we think that the opportunity is far too bigger. There are unorganized players, but they will not be able to match the quality, the distribution, and the ability to withstand the volatility in the raw material prices. So I don't think much of a challenge is there for an Exide at this point of time.
Okay. And how would you really assess the recent tie-ups that the company has done with the OEM players like Hyundai and Kia? And of course, there was this entire buzz around when Elon Musk was supposed to visit India, but he gave a pass. But that time we did see the entire space really buzzing in hopes that perhaps there could be big orders coming in once Tesla announces its entry and foray into the Indian space. How would you really look at that kind of an opportunity?
So, the recent tie-ups with global OEM companies are definitely is extremely good because typically you see a much higher volume growth when you tie up with OEM companies. Also, as we all know that EV is an accepted norm and people are moving towards that. No doubt, China and other countries have moved much ahead, but emerging countries have a long way of growth. So there, I think Excite will play an important role, and they will be able to tie up with some of the global EV companies. So I think overall the story looks quite encouraging for a company like Excite.
Okay. So, sir, what would be your long-term target for the company and how does the valuation currently stack up after the recent run-up? Is there any fear of valuations running ahead of fundamentals at this point in time? Or do you think that even at the current levels, one can continue to at least start a sip on this stock if somebody has a long 5-10 year kind of a horizon?
All know that the stock has run up, from 350 to almost about 460, which is a huge jump, 25-30%. So a part of this new announcements and EV related stuff is already in the price. We would be more comfortable buying this one somewhere close to about 400 rupees. And we do think that from a 2-3 year kind of a price horizon, this company can give you an upside of about 18 to 20% compounded annual growth. So I think a minimum 500 kind of a target price is possible, but one should try to enter at a small correction as the stock has run up.
Okay, wait for a bit of correction and then you can enter, but the long term horizon looks very, very positive. Targets already shared with you at this point in time. And now, Mr. Jani, I'm sure that you would be also knowing all of this, but for our viewers, some of the interesting facts that I wanted to point out. As interesting news points from Exide that many people may not know. So, of course, it was a purely first Indian product in the space of battery. It provided battery for the earliest Maruti car as well. And remember, during Kargil war, we did see that Exide overnight geared up for production of batteries that were required for Bofors field guns as well. So that's as well that where the company has really participated. In the year 1913, the Holland 1 submarine was fitted with a chloride battery and it had sank in the sea. And but years later, 69 years later to be precise, this battery was salvaged and when it was recharged, it was found that it was working again. So despite all the kind of moves that we've seen, will Exide be able to prove its worth going forward in the long term with the kind of substantial moves that it has shown in the previous times?
So actually, I think this goes back to many years back, and we've seen how for two-wheelers, four-wheelers, we used to have these batteries, and it has become so popular across the customers, not just in India but in many parts of the world. And I think what is interesting is that it's not just the automotive part, but also industrial part. You have when you have UPS and you want to have a backup. That is where the battery companies, come out with very interesting product lines. So I think very interesting positioning, and with EV being an additional trigger for stock like Excite. So I think good times ahead for a company like Excite.
Okay, wonderful. Well, many thanks, Mr. Jani, for being with us on this show, and truly appreciate all your answering all the queries that have come in. I think we potentially answered about 17 queries in the show today. So many thanks for one after the other addressing all of those queries, as well as on our KYC segment to give us all that insight about Exide batteries. Truly appreciate your time with us on Business Today, sir.